So the mayor of Dallas said he will help deport illegal immigrants out of the city of Dallas. Now, if y'all remember this Mayor Johnson, not Brandon Johnson, but he was a Democrat, then switched over to the Republican Party for good reason, because the Democrats are pretty much the Democratic Party, let me say that, pretty much just went too far to the left. But anyway, let's get into this story and answer the question, or at least tell me, why are people in uproar?
We're in Dallas tonight after the mayor promised to support President-elect Trump's plans for mass deportations.
Mayor Eric Johnson went public with his support on Fox News, but now that's put him at odds with several city council members.
They just told Cole Sullivan Mayor Johnson doesn't speak for them or the city.
Some of Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson's city council colleagues are angry at him once again, this time for comments about President Trump's mass deportation plans.
Will you deport? Of course we'd support that. Of course we'd stand by President Trump in an effort to get rid of people in our country illegally who have violent criminal records or who commit violent criminal acts here.
Those comments on Fox Business last week caused quick backlash.
Why? He said, let's go back. Let's go back to see what exactly he said.
For comments about President Trump's mass deportation plans.
Will you deport? Of course we'd support that. Of course we'd stand by President Trump in an effort to get rid of people in our country illegally who have violent criminal records or who commit violent criminal acts here.
Those comments on Fox Business last week caused quick backlash.
The Latino community of Dallas needs to know that they are safe, that they are welcome here. And it's outrageous to have someone who calls themselves a leader in this city to say otherwise.
Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Adam Bazaldua says he was personally insulted by the mayor's remarks.
We are an inclusionary city. We want to be inclusive.
You see how, and you wonder why people are going away from the Democratic Party, because cooler heads are supposed to prevail. Common sense, as they say, is not so common, but it should be. The man said he agreed to deport violent criminals. He didn't say people who was trying to work, minding their own business, out here selling mangoes or paletas. He said violent criminals. And this guy said the Hispanic community is welcome in Dallas. Who said they wasn't? Who said it wasn't? But it's funny how they try to flip. See, the problem with, I'm going to tell you why the Democrat Party looks so bad. It's because now you have social media and the internet where you have instant access to what anybody says, and it can be recorded and replayed over and over again. I can sit here and replay Mayor Johnson's quote a million times, to where he said deport those, because even Trump and his supporters and his constituents said they were looking, the people that they were going, the borders are saying they was going to deport, find those violent criminals, and get them out of here. Those who got violent records in their own country. Why in the hell would y'all allow people with violent records in their own country to come over here? And then you see these crimes are being committed, people being deleted, women being assaulted, people being robbed. And yet, for some reason, you're saying that this is like discrimination against what, man? This is not our parents and grandparents' Democratic Party.
Of all.
The mayor also described the impact of migrants as a strain on the city.
It's a strain on our school system. It's a strain on our hospital system. There are hidden costs to having a porous, open border, and we need to shut that down.
In response, council member, Army vet, and son of formerly undocumented parents Jaime Resendez wrote, quote, "If the mayor and others like him truly believe immigrants and their children are only a strain, perhaps they should have been willing to go to war."
Okay, Councilman Jaime. Hold up.
My plate.
Resendez. Let me tell you where your words and your interpretation, maybe English is your second language and interpretation is not your strong suit. thank you for your service, as they say in military. But here's, like I say, how people have been brainwashed. You say your parents came over here as illegal immigrants. Okay. I'm sure your parents, okay, they came over here wrong, doggone it, we hate it, because what we want is, yes, we want people to come over here the right way, go through the system, take your however many years it takes for you to become a citizen, pay your dues. That's the perfect scenario. A lot of people come over here, that's not how it worked. Okay, that's not how they did it. Okay, fine. I'm sure your parents worked. I'm sure they worked to provide a better life for you. We're not talking about, I'm sure your parents wasn't over here trafficking humans, wasn't over here bringing dope across. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just speculating, because if you were to speak on your parents, I'm sure you would probably say the same thing I'm saying. Yeah, they weren't trafficking humans, trafficking kids, trafficking dope. I'm sure they wasn't out there committing crimes, robbing, stealing, deleting people, assaulting people. I'm sure they wasn't doing that. They made a way for you in order for you to somehow become a soldier in the U.S. military, where you served as a soldier. So now you are, and you done, I guess, a great job. And now you are a councilman. You said that the mayor and others like him truly believe immigrants and their children are only a strain. He didn't say you are only a strain. What he said is, and this is just logic. We'll just speak logic, okay? Regardless, people like to be things to be sugar coated and don't want to hurt people feel. People don't want to hear the real, okay? He didn't say only strain. He said it's a strain on the school system. It's a strain on the hospital system. You know why it's a strain? Here we go. You got people who come over here who have nothing and they get everything. Again, like Phil Scott, shout out to Phil Scott. A great analogy he made is anyone who has a home, has a family, and has had family come and stay with you. What's the first thing affected? The first thing affected is your pocketbook. I'm just gonna go personal. I work, I pay bills, I pay taxes, I provide for my family, whether it's in the house or outside the house. I provide for my family. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. Okay. That's what my money is budgeted for. Sometimes things come up within my family to where you have to spend a little extra, understand, but there's ways to go and maneuver some things to make sure it works. You do that. You sacrifice. You do that. Now, if I mess around, and when I say family, I mean like wife, kids, grandkids, whatever, mother, father, sister. That's, those are people, like, if they need something, what I'm saying, that's who I'm there for. If I have, let's say, and to a level, okay? So let's say if I have, let's say, a cousin, or let's say a child that comes in that got their own kids, cousin come in with their family, aunt, uncle, anybody, any other family member comes in and probably brings children with them. Now my money, which is already allocated for certain things, now has to be stretched. You understand what I'm saying? But people say, man, you should take them in because you got the money. How you know I got the money? I might be living paycheck to paycheck. I might spend every dime on a bill. You don't know this. And I'm not going to disclose to you how much money I make and how much money I spend on what. But just because I live in a certain area, house look a certain way, got certain automobiles, does not mean that I have $1 million in surplus somewhere. Or it does not mean that I'm in the red or the negative, but it means all you know is I take care of my family. So when you add other people to the mix, it's going to strain your budget. Strain your budget. The electricity bill gonna go up. First thing really go, the food bill gonna go up, because 9 times out of 10, them son guns are not putting in to your situation because they in your house for a reason. Either they ain't got nowhere to stay, or maybe they come to visit for a little while, but they're in your house for a reason, whether it's short term, long term. And 9 times out of 10, if it's a bad reason, it's because of they ain't got no money. They got nowhere to go. So they come to you to help, provide a little assistance. Which, like, again, the money is short. And most of the money is gonna come out of your pocket. Nobody's gonna come to your house and pay you what they would, to pay you to stay there. If they could do that, they go to a hotel. I mean, just think about it. They go to a hotel, eat out, and rent car, this and the third. No, they come to visit you. They stand at your house. You're gonna invite them in your house. They're gonna stay in your house, but your finances will be affected. So same thing with the doggone me city, same thing with the school, same thing with the hospitals. Hospital, school, they all get a certain amount of money for a certain amount of people in that neighborhood. And then all of a sudden you get an influx of people coming in saying, hey, we need help too. And they're not providing anything. They're not providing taxes. They're not providing any money. Kids got to eat, kids, they ain't got no, so, kids got to eat free lunches. Children and family get free health care. Where's that money coming from? And what are they putting in? They're not putting in anything to help keep everything afloat. So that's what he's saying. Whether you like it or not. And yeah, but the thing about it is people come in your house and you help them to try to get on their feet. And then once they're on their feet, they move on. Then you was a blessing. You get that. But in the meanwhile, like you're saying, what he's saying is if we don't have the money to help, it will put a strain on your finances. So, like I said, I don't know where they get this whole why they can't see that. They act like this is like what he's saying is like foreign and it's like evil. The man just said, "Hey, it's a strain. We can help, but hell, what you going to put back into it?" And that's where the biggest issue, and that's where the problem is. You can help people out. They come in, you can help them out. You give them everything they need, and then when they move on, and they don't put back into what you gave. You still gotta build on that. Like I said, I can remember when I knew somebody who was like trying to help out, some kids and grandkids and stuff like that, and they had a little money, but yet those other people, the people that was helping out wasn't putting in, and this person was like losing money. It wasn't me. This person was like losing money, like had a savings and losing savings going down, but the other people were not putting in. It's like, look, you helping grown folks and helping their kids. They can't, if they're not going to help you with your situation, you need to just, what I'm saying, send them back. You know what I'm saying? Because how they said with the airport, you got to make sure you have oxygen, or you can't let, let's say you're trying to save somebody who's drowning. There's a good analogy right there. Somebody who's in the ocean, in a river, in a lake, or whatever, they're drowning. If you jump out there and trying to save them, if you just try to grab them and have no plan or understanding how to properly save somebody who's drowning, or how to if they grab on to you, because most times when somebody drowns, you're trying to save them, they're going to grab on to you out of panic. And what it's going to do is going to cause both of y'all to drown, because this other person is panicking and don't know what to do. So what they train you to do is, like, if someone does that, you ball up and you kick them off of you. You know what I'm saying? And you try to grab them from behind. And you grab them from behind, and then you pull them with you, because you try to go in the front and they grab it, you're going to drown. So the thing is, you can't help somebody who don't know how to swim. Number one, if you do not know how to rescue them properly. Same thing. So if they don't, because they don't have the tools to even help themselves, how are you gonna help them if you don't know how to rescue them properly when they pull a panic move? Same thing. People ain't got nothing to give. They coming to take everything, and then when you drown, now both of y'all are dead. Who did you help?
Johnson's office did not respond to a request for an interview. The Dallas mayor has no more voting power than the 14 council members he sits alongside.
The mayor has a vote that weighs just as much as mine. You need 7 colleagues on this council to get anything done.
In Dallas, I'm Cole Sullivan.
So yeah, I don't understand what these council. I think the real issue with them is that they're mad because he went from Democrat to Republican. That's it. When he did that, boy, that pissed them off and pissed them off a lot. And they have not forgiven him, and they will not forgive him for that. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, hey, he did what he felt was best because again, the Democratic Party is going totally left. They approving and funding and following things that has nothing to do with family, nothing to do with like real life practical issues, nothing to do with like people finances. It's more of like emotional things, like I say, illegals coming over here. No matter if you commit crimes or not, you discriminate against them. Little kids think they want to be boys, think they want to be girls, and as a parent, you saying, "Nah, you can't do that. When you get grown, you can do what you want to. But as long as you're in my house, you can't do that." You need to give the kids more rights. Silly mess like that. When you got the Republicans talking about, hey, let's get some of these migrants out of here because it's putting a strain on our economy. And then with that, maybe we can, let's do something about these taxes. Let's do something about this inflation. So our citizens can, let's prioritize the citizens first, is basically what the Republicans are doing, whether whether you like it or not. But anyway, I'm just ready for the great reset so we can get back to normal. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple minutes of today, but it means the world to us here. If you'd like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chats, super stickers, or go to the description box. There are links there that you can click on to help support us. We appreciate anything you can do. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com where you get 10% off your first purchase of all our luxury items. And I promise you will not be disappointed. Also, if you would like to take advantage of our miniature beard kit sale, click on the shop button below. Where we have a miniature sandalwood scented beard kit that has sandalwood oil, balm, and shampoo or wash, however you want to call it. Sandalwood is clinically proven to help stimulate hair follicle growth. So if you're trying to grow that beard to its full potential, why not use the best product on the market? And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.